Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to do a side-by-side interior color comparison on the all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. Now today I'm lucky enough to have three Palisade Calligraphies on the exact same exterior color with the three different calligraphy specific interiors. So we have the black, the gray navy, as well as the all-new brown Nappa interiors. And we're going to run through all these side-by-side and see the exact differences in terms of what changes if you're searching for a Palisade currently on dealership lots, waiting for one to arrive, or waiting for the hybrid powertrain, which should be arriving in roughly 2 months' time from the time that this video will be posted, but we'll have to see if that timeline actually holds up. And overall, just see what the differences are and what each of these three interior looks like on the all-new Palisade Calligraphy. So like I said, today I'm lucky enough to have three Palisade Calligraphies all in the creamy white exterior with the black, the gray navy, as well as the all-new brown Nappa interiors. Now, if you're curious about which colors are available with different exterior paint options, I will put that chart on the screen right now. But obviously the black interior is available across the board with all the exterior colors. The gray navy has a good selection. I think the brown is going to be slightly more restrictive, but overall there is going to be a variety of exterior paint colors that you can pair with either of these three interiors. So first up, I want to start with the black interior, then we'll move on to the gray and navy, and then finally wrap up with the brown. Now starting out with the black interior, obviously if you're familiar with black interiors, it's going to be almost all entirely dark materials with some bright silver touches that Hyundai has chosen specifically for the Palisade. So starting out here on the door panel, you can see it's just entirely soft touch black here on the door, some bright silver trim as far as this portion below the soft touch armrest, and then this is kind of a graphite color, if you will, a rubberized soft touch material, different from that of the soft touch leather for the armrest. And then I want you guys to pay attention to the window and mirror controls that are bright silver, along with the door handle pull and of course the massaging and memory seats up there. Moving on to the driver's seat, you can see all the controls are black and silver in color. There's the perforated Nappa interior with the silver accents on the backrest portion. And then there's a quick look at the dashboard, which once again, no surprise, is going to be the majority in black. So I don't want to spend too much time here in the dark or black interior on the Palisade, but I do want to point out things that will change across at least two, if not three, of the Palisade's interiors, depending on which one that you do choose. Now, starting out with the steering wheel, you obviously get the Nappa soft touch steering wheel. That will be a two-tone effect in some of the other variants. Now here with the black, both of these inside and outside materials will going to be dark in color, but if you get the brown and or the navy, this will become a two-tone steering wheel. Now moving on to the center console trim, this is another material that will change across all three interiors. You can see these are more straight lines, dark in nature, matches the black very well, and this is going to be the exact same trim up there on the dashboard, but this will change with the interior color option that you do choose. And then coming up to the headliner, this is going to be dark suede pillars and headliner, very soft premium material that obviously will follow through across the entire interior and all of the pillars in all three rows. But that is pretty much going to be a look here at the front seat. Now taking a look at the second and third rows, there are going to be some differences in terms of what materials are going to be found not only on the door panels, but which ones do change across all three variants. So starting out here in the second row, you can see immediately you get the soft touch leather up top with the accent stitching, and then this is going to be that rubberized graphite material that I mentioned for the front seat, and then all of this down below is going to be the smooth Nappa leather. You can see silver window switchgear for the armrest portion. That is something to pay attention to. And then coming to the second row, captain chairs, obviously all of the plastics and the leather is going to be black in color. There's going to be a quick look at the headliner once again. And then stepping inside, you can see all of the plastics for the seat backs, the center console storage area, all going to be dark black in color. There's a look at the captain chairs once again. And then coming out to the third row very quickly. Not too much to explain back here because it all follows through from that of the front seats. But there's going to be something in terms of the third row seat controls and all the power electronics over there. Did just want to point that out across all three variants because a lot of the plastics in the third row are going to be different in color depending on the interior that you are getting. So that is basically going to be a look here at the black interior. Not too much to point out. I guess I will quickly show you guys the trunk just so I can show you across all three of these vehicles. But some of these plastics here around the back are going to be changing in color. If you get the gray and navy or that of the brown, there's the seat controls on the left side, the power outlet, and then this portion right here is something to pay attention to on some of the other vehicles that I will be showcasing. So that is a look at the black interior. Pretty self-explanatory there. Now I want to move on to the gray and navy interior, which is certainly going to be the brightest option if you're looking for the lightest color available on this new Palisade. So starting out here on the driver's side, immediately you can see the door panel is going to be very bright in color with just a little bit of subtle navy blue accents. So all this is still going to be soft touch, the exact same material, but the armrest is going to be the dark blue or navy in color. And then down below you have this same rubberized textured material that is kind of very similar to that of the light gray plastics, just a tad darker. Window mirror controls are still going to be bright silver in color, along with the door handle pull and the two-person memory driver's seat up there. And then coming to the plastics for all of the seat side panels and the interior trim, all of this is going to be dark navy blue in color, and is very similar to that of the last generation Palisade, if you guys are familiar with that. Now the seat material itself, even though they call this gray, a lot of people do think it is white in color, but it's basically the lightest gray you can go without getting quite to fully white. And there you can see the center dashboard, which has a lot of two-tone effect. So here in the interior of the gray and navy, immediately you can see the two-tone colors start to come into play, along with some of the different materials for the center console and the armrest storage. So immediately starting with the steering wheel and the dashboard, you can see you get the two-tone effect for the steering wheel. So you have the dark navy blue outside, the lighter gray inside. All of this is going to be gray plastics, along with the bright silver trim is still retained down here. And then the dashboard gets that mix of the dark navy upper with the gray inserts. Follows through across the entire dashboard, looks quite stunning. And then over there on the middle trim above the glove box, and then here in the center console, you get this very, very light gray with just a very slight hint of brown wood trim or faux wood trim, whatever they like to call it. And it matches the gray inserts very nicely here on the interior. And I like the fact that not only the pattern is different, but also obviously the color and the type of wood they're trying to mimic. Now up here on the pillars, this is the light gray suede along with the headliner. So a very bright experience as the sun starts to come out, really brightens up and pops here on the interior. And then, like I said, there is the front door panel with the navy armrest and kind of the more simplistic design, where out back in the second and third rows, that does start to change just a little bit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the second and third rows with this interior. And then immediately opening it up, you can see not only the design, but some of the, just elements do change. So all this, once again, same as the black interior. You get all this lighter gray soft touch upper. This is that rubberized textured trim. And then this is going to be dark navy leather once again. There's all those plastics, which you can kind of see if you focus on the door rubber seal trim, which is black, how it differs between the two. There's the light gray Nappa leather seats. There's the backs of the seats, which is all dark navy and plastic. And then stepping inside, there's a quick look at the center dashboard. And then take a look out back. All of this is dark navy trim. Really the only part that's black is going to be the actual floor carpet itself. There's the captain's chairs. Once again, the door panel here for the rear seats. There's a quick look at the headliner. Really not too much to go over. This is black in color, so these controls against the headliner are black, one of the few elements here on the inside that are actually truly black. And then coming to the third row seats, obviously you have to wait for the power adjustments to get out of the way. There's going to be the third row Nappa interior. There's a look at the plastics over there on the passenger side, which again, dark navy blue in color with that two-tone effect on the USB port side of things. And then we'll go ahead and wrap it up here with the cargo and trunk area, just so you guys get a better idea in terms of what changes. So all of this carpet back here is going to be very similar to that of the dark navy blue trim. So this is not black carpet on the seat backs themselves, but is going to be black carpet on the actual floor itself. And there you can see the lighter trim. All of this is blue going up to the headliner. Yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out in terms of distinguishing what actually changes in terms of all the plastics and certain carpeted elements, especially when it comes to the seat backs. So finally coming here to the brown interior, which is the all new option on the Palisade, of course, rolled out first on the Santa Fe a couple years ago. This one is certainly going to be quite bold, but in some regards, I actually do really like it, and I applaud Hyundai for offering such a bold option. Starting out here on the driver's side door panel, you can see there's going to be a ton of lighter or medium brown, if you will, up top, and that transitions into black plastics at the very bottom. So all this same soft touch leather, and immediately can see the window and mirror controls transition to a very dark black instead of the bright silver trim like the door handle and the seat controls actually do retain. So this part does change here on the armrest, where the door handle pull and the seat memory do stay the same. And then down below you have all the dark plastics. This is going to be that same rubberized soft touch, so this carries through across all three interiors. And then coming here to the seats, you can see all of the plastic trim is going to be black, including the floor carpet, where the seat plastic on the side is going to be the lighter brown. And the obviously Nappa leather seats themselves are going to be the exact same color to match that. And then there's a look at the dashboard, which does have a little bit of two-tone effect, but less so than that of the gray and navy interior. So here in the inside of the brown interior, this is going to be an interesting mix of dark black materials as well as the medium brown used throughout, with some touches of some medium wood trim, which looks fantastic. So in terms of the steering wheel, you do get the two-tone Nappa steering wheel with the black outside and the lighter brown on the inside. However, when it comes to the dashboard, this is not going to be a two-tone effect, because this entire portion is the exact same brown as the lower section, unlike that of the gray and navy. So you can see as you come across, it is all basically going to be one color. However, the trim in the middle is going to be similar to that of the Santa Fe, where it's a medium brown, and it does have a totally different design to it, and I really like this wood trim. It's actually my favorite across all three of these interiors and looks very, very nice. And then across the armrest here, obviously this is all going to be that medium brown as well. And then coming up to the pillars, this is going to be the black suede pillars. So similar to that of the black interior, no real difference there. And that continues across all three rows as well. And there's a look at the passenger side door panel. So you can see the lower black plastics with the upper medium brown. So that is basically going to be a look here at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second and third rows. So coming out to the second row, you can see there is going to be more two-tone effect for the door panels, just due to that different use of materials. So this is all going to be the leather upper, you have the leather armrest, and then this is going to be that rubberized dark graphite trim, similar to that of the black interior. And then coming to the captain chairs, you can see all the plastics are black, and then the captain chair themselves are the brown color. Seat backs are going to be entirely brown with this interior, so all of these plastics are going to match the actual leather material. And then stepping inside, there's a quick look at the dashboard. And then coming out back to some of the trim around the power outlet's going to be black, the drawer storage down there, the carpet all going to be black. And then coming up top to the headliner, obviously this is all black also to match that of the front. There's a look at the passenger side rear door panel that gives you an idea of that contrast. And then take a look at the third row with the brown. The seats themselves are obviously going to be brown. And then there's a look at the trim across the passenger side, just to give you guys an idea of that two-tone effect with which plastics are brown, which ones are not. Really overall, I do like the brown interior, the black seat belts, the black carpet. I think it all looks very nice. And then I'll show you guys quickly the cargo area in this one. So you have a lot of this is going to be the lighter brown at the bottom with the silver calligraphy scuff plates. And then as you wrap up top, some of this transitions into a black material before it gets to the actual suede headliner. This is black in this portion, and then all the seat controls are going to match the seating surfaces finished in that lighter brown. So black carpets on the backs of the seats, I actually like that a little bit better, so it's not going to be the brown carpet or anything like that. But yeah, that is basically going to be a look at all three interiors here on the all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. If you guys have any questions or want to know exactly anything else, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section. I will do my best to answer them. But hopefully this gives you a better idea and understanding as to what the three interior options look like on the 2026 Calligraphy. So you got the black, the navy and gray, as well as the brown. And let me know which one you think is going to be your favorite down in the comment section below, because obviously these are going to be a little bit dependent on which dealers want to stock, how much Hyundai is ultimately going to be producing in all three of these. I assume the black is still going to be the most popular one, but I really want to see people choose the brown, so they build more brown interiors, not only on the Palisade, but also just across other vehicles. Like I said, they do have this on the Santa Fe for not only the limited, but also the calligraphy for 2026. So obviously there was demand there for them to build that configuration. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, and like I said, let me know which one is going to be your pick. And check out additional coverage I have here on the 2026 Hyundai Palisade. Here, I'm trying to pump these videos out as quickly as possible. Obviously, we got side-by-side comparisons, trim videos coming. I got to film the SL Convenience later today to get this video out for you guys. But nonetheless, hope you guys are enjoying the 2026 Palisade content. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one.